Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Colors of Paris is a worker placement rondelle-esque game where you're going to be painting pictures, I suppose, of Paris and using different colors to accomplish your goals. This is one of my favorite light gateway-esque games. It has some of the usual worker placement tropes. If I take a spot, then you can't take it. That's fairly normal. And when I take a spot, I get goodies for doing so. What stands this game up a little bit of the board is you're going to have 3 workers going to be placing out on this rondelle, which is going to turn every time. But one of my workers I have to keep there for next round. That spot is already taken. But remember, the wheel is going to move. So when I make a decision this turn, I'm going to be saying, okay, I want this. What is something I'm going to get next time? And that's going to be important. There is a spot on the board where you can move it twice and kind of screw people over a little bit. But you don't really want to screw people over in this game as much as you want to get the wheel in the spot that you want it to be on. So, you know, some of those spaces are going to be holdovers, and some of the spaces are going to be more important to you at times than different times. You don't really want to paint until you have the paint, because obviously you can't draw without it. So there's a certain sequence of events, but all of the workers are going to be on a different sequence at different times in the game. While some parts are going to be attractive to more than one player at a time, only one person can go there. There are some catch-all spots where you can go. There is a spot where you can go and you can take a spot somebody else has taken, which really opens up that gateway. It's not a punishment. They're not turns where you're not doing anything. There's always something you can be doing in this game. The theme works great. The components are really well done. It's a very fun experience. I'm surprised this game isn't on Target shelves or in mass market games. This is a fantastic, wonderful, fun to play, lightweight gateway game, right up there with Ticket to Ride and Carcassonne and those. This could be a new classic, and I'm a little surprised that it's not. This one we've had a blast with. It's a definite keeper for us. Here is Colors of Paris. Very beautiful, beautiful box art here of this man painting overlooking the city, but of course he's not painting a beautiful city. It's kind of an abstract work there. Going to get a rule book, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. You're going to get this board that you'll use. Now, you have to put this together a little bit, but it clips right in. It's a little harder than things on there to move it. I wish it had something like here in the center to turn it, but it's fine. You're going to get a bunch of these that will hold the card. They're little easels, and the cards will kind of sit in here. It's fine. You're going to get some cards here. When you open this up, it's really kind of neat. So this is what you're painting, but on the back, this is like all the color cubes and a victory point. As beautiful as this is what you stare at most of the time. So just kind of be aware of that. Some of it does repeat in here. Then you have some bonus cards that you'll have. The quality is fine, not great, but you can see right here how it sits right on the easel. Well, that's because I didn't have it there. It kind of sits on the easel like this, so everybody can easily see it. Nice little thing. Now, these little containers are mine. I got these from dollar stores. You get these little plastic cubes. They're not wooden, so they're plastic in here. Everybody's going to get these little artesian meeples that they'll be able to utilize during the game, and they're pretty cute looking. They look like little painters, etc. that you're going to see. Now, your boards do have indentions in here. This isn't big enough. This doesn't fit all the cubes you're going to get in a game, especially when you get these mixture ones. It's okay because they're colored. You can easily see it, but it's not big enough for that. Everything else is pretty good. You're going to have the characters that you can be, and they're real nice cardboard. They have just their picture on one side and then the power and the picture on the other side for playing with the bonus material. Very good job. Here is the rule book. You can see a picture of the front. Then you're going to have a picture of all setup right here. You can easily set everything up, and it looks very, very beautiful. Then you're going to be playing the game. It's going to break it down to different actions that you're going to have on the board. Then prepare for the next round, end of game, and then how to score. You can see there's plenty of pictures and examples. Everything is super clear and well organized. On the back, you have some advanced rules. You can add the bonus cards in or the painter tiles if you want. I like adding both these in, to be honest with you. I'll probably tell you to right away. This rulebook, I guess, was a 9 or 10 for me. I really didn't have any issues. The game's very simple to play. Excellent job. When the game begins, everybody's going to have 3 little artesian meeples they're going to have. On your turn, you're going to have this kind of set up, and if you have less than 2 or less than 4, so everyone's going to get 3 little artesian meeples that they'll have at the beginning of the game. You can earn more as time goes on.
When the board is set up, it'll be set up, and if you're playing with less than 4, 2 players or 3, some of these spots will be blocked off. But on your turn, it's very simple. You put your worker down, then the next person put their worker down, and you're just setting your workers up. So that's what they'll be doing. They'll be standing up. Then each of the players will take turns activating. So they'll flip over their guy and take the action that's in front of them. Very easy to do. And as you go through, then when the round is over, you will stand up one of your guys. Well, this will move first at the end of the round. Then you will stand up one of your guys and pick up the other ones to reset the board. So you always keep one guy there so you can kind of plan out what he's going to activate next. Now, each of the actions on the board are going to do something different. So you're going to have the red, yellow, and blue, and that's going to give you a number of blue, red, or yellow based on this chart up here. So right now, when the game starts, you get 3 for every worker there, but as this goes up, I can get 6 of that color. Now, you're also going to have purple, orange, and green, where you give up, let me give you an example of green, you give up a blue and a yellow cube, which you would take from out of here, and I would get a number of green based on where I'm at on this middle track. So at the beginning of the game, I can get 2, but as I upgrade it, maybe I'll be able to get 7 later on in the game. So by giving up 1 blue and 1 yellow, I can get 7 green. The other spot is here. This is how you get black. You give up an orange, a purple, and green. Now, no matter where you're at on any of these charts, you can only do this one time, but it will give you a black cube. A black cube is not for painting anything. They're just for 6 victory points at the end of the game. Now, the other 3 you're going to have is this tube. You're going to have the palette and the brush. If you put a guy there, you're simply going to move up on one of these. This is how you move up on these tracks. The other little part you have here is right here. This will allow you to get one of these cards. There'll be 4 of these face up, and this tells you what cubes have to go on here. So if you select this option, you can choose one of the 4 face up ones and put it down in front of you. You can get as many of these as you want during the game. There is no hand limit to these. And then the last spot on the lower end of the board is this one. This will allow you to take cubes from here that you've earned already and put them on the card, hoping to complete them. The number of cubes you can take from here down to here is your number on the paintbrush. At the beginning of the game, you can only take 1 cube from here, but later in the game, if you get all the way up on here, you might be able to take 8 cubes from up here and down here. In the middle of the board are also spots you can take. This one right here gives you first player and 1 white cube. A white cube is good because it can replace any color on here, but you will lose 2 points for every white cube that you use. So instead of scoring 14, if I had 1 white cube on here, I would only score 12. This one right here, at the end of the round, this is going to move 1 space. If you put a worker here, it allows you to move it 0 or 2 spaces. So that's what that's going to do for you. And here, this space right here says if you put a worker here, I can take any spot on the lower end of the wheel, even if somebody else is there. So if somebody is here on the blue and I really want to take that spot, I can go here and then copy that position. The game is going to end when somebody completes 2 of these. So that means you have cubes on all of these. That will trigger the end, and then you will be able to score the victory points on the bottom of these. Also, it's good to note that if you get up to these spots right here, you can either get an additional worker or you can get a 6-point victory one. If you get to the end, you get a 10-point victory token. So it's not 16 to get all the way to the end, it's just 10. So if you manage to get to the end of these, you would add those up also to whatever you have completed. If you have any black cubes, they're worth 6. Whites on here are worth -2. Whoever has the most points is the winner of the game. Now, there are 2 advanced modules that you can use. My favorite is probably the different character powers. So at the beginning of the game, you would get 2 of these, and you can choose one that you want to be. This just give you an ongoing power. For example, normally at the end of a round, you can only have 12 cubes. If you have Van Gogh, he allows you to keep 16 cubes instead of the 12. Monet, whenever you take a yellow cube, you can instantly put it right here on one of your cards if the card requires a yellow cube. The other thing you can do is have these bonus cards. There's 2 ways to play with it where you have to use the power immediately or you can save it for later, but you pay the number of white cubes at the front and you get the little power that's listed here on the bonus cards. So this is an actual module that you can add in, but I kind of recommend to shake things up pretty quickly to go ahead and add that in as quickly as possible. And that's a quick overview of how you play Colors of Paris.
Who should buy this game? Anyone. Anyone looking for a light worker placement game on the entry-level type side of this. The game is fun, though. If you play this with gamers, they're still going to enjoy this game. The theme is very pleasing. It works with what you're doing. The worker placement, that rondelle, is a very neat addition to the worker placement genre, and I think this game works brilliantly. Definite keeper for us, and one I highly recommend for you.